So how do I know that I'm on the right path? Or how do I know that I'm on God's path or following God's plan for my life? In life, there are easy decisions that we can make. Those are like choosing to get up with our alarm clock, taking showers, going to school, being on time, doing our chores. Those are like the no-brainer decisions. And there are decisions that we make that are a little more complicated, that we know clearly that they're either right or wrong decisions, like partying too hard or cheating on a math test. Those are obviously not the right decisions, right? But what about the major decisions, like the big decisions in life? What college am I going to go to? What extracurricular activities should I have? What job should I do? What do I want to be when I grow up? All of those things are like big decisions, and it's not easy to know what the right answer is. So how do we know what God wants for us? How do we know if we're on God's path or following God's plan for our life when it comes to these decisions, when there's no clear right or wrong? John Wesley, who is the guy that founded Methodism, he had three kind of general rules for living. He said, do good, do no harm, and stay in love with God. And he posed that we could live by these rules and we could use them kind of as a test for our lives to see if we are on the right path, quote unquote. So when I'm thinking about these decisions, what college should I go to? That's a pretty big decision, but does God really have a plan for which college specifically I should be at? And what I would offer to you is that maybe God can use you no matter what college you decide to go to. Maybe God isn't so concerned about you picking the right school as much as he's concerned about how you're going to stay in love with him while you're at that school. And we can use that for jobs. We can question that against deciding what to do with our free time, where we serve, how we are able to show God's love to the world. And the beautiful part about all of it is that there's not always a right or wrong. There's not always a left turn or a right turn. It's more about God being able to use us no matter what path we choose, as opposed to being on or off God's path for our lives. But I find it freeing when I remember that it's much less about God's plan and making sure that I stay within God's plan or stay on God's path. And it's so much more about how he can use me in all of my situations and all of the decisions that I make. I have an opportunity to do good in the world and am invited to do no harm. And in every situation I choose, I can stay in love with God and allow myself to be used by him to love others.